welcome everyone. Today we will talk about the current FFA tier list after playing 1000 games of FFA. There have been things changed up and I can see civs being played differently and what are the strengths or the weakness of each civs. Now, first of all, Rus still stayed one of the best civs for FFA thanks to the hunting cabin. You always have perfect hunting cabin. Thanks to the high trade house, you always have really good high trade house. And thanks to the feudal landmark that gives you stone anytime, and Rus has no problem of building a wonder since you can just buy infinite amount of stone thanks to your feudal age landmark, right? That's perfectly nice. So Rus still one of the best FFA civilization that I can see. Infinite gold, infinite everything, right? Perfect. The second civilization that people will think, what? Is gonna be Japanese. Now, I've been playing with the Japanese Buddhist build for a long time, and I've been winning games even with the worst case scenario, like no food or no gold around me at all, and there are like 69 player around my base as well. So I've been winning a lot of games with Japanese and the Buddhist landmark. Other than the Yoroshiro, I think Yoroshiro is really bad. Like comparing Yoroshiro to the Buddhist, Yoroshiro is really weak compared to the Buddhist. Buddhist is insanely strong, debuffing the enemy units 50%. Feudal landmark will provide you a lot of food for your mounted samurai spam. Mounted samurai with the Buddhist monk together. And after that, into H4, you can go both landmark, the Crow, or the Tanegashima Gunsmith. So both H4 landmark is really good. And I tested it, I played it. This is absolutely crazy. Like the amount of gold that you can get out from Buddhist monks is insane. Insanity. Now the next S tier civilization in my eyes. So the civilizations I will put into S tier are all civilization that somehow has insane gold income. Okay, the next one is gonna be English. In my eyes, English is just like Rus or Japanese. They can get crazy amount of gold, and again, these FFAs are all based what kind of unit can make, can you survive feudal castle, can you get to imperial somehow, what kind of resources you can work with, is your civilization good or bad on water, etc. And these three civ so far, like as I put it in English here as well, you can survive feudal, you can feudal all in, you can do a lot of things, and later on when you get to imperial, you have like crazy amount of gold per minute, right? Nobody can say like, oh yeah, English doesn't have gold at all, right? English has a lot of gold income. By the way, I forgot to put this on the screen so people can see their own messages. All right, so as I said, English has a really good gold economy in imperial age, but in feudal and castle the economy is very nice. That's fine. So for FFA, these three civilizations are the best so far. Like which one should be on the first or the second? Which one should be in the first or second? It doesn't matter. All three civ, I think, perfectly fit next to each other. Alright, next two civilization I will talk with, and they will go together into the same location, is gonna be French and Jeanne d'Arc. Now French and Jeanne d'Arc, like before, I thought Jeanne d'Arc is insanely bad because they are starting one less villager, but the devs fixed it, and now Jeanne d'Arc spawn with the same amount of villager. What is the reason both French and Jeanne d'Arc is into A tier? Well, they have the guild hall, which is, I'm pretty sure it's like 200 or 300 gold per minute, something like that, when it gets to really high. So not as crazy gold per minute, just like the other three civilization, but French is absolutely a unit. Both of them are an absolute unit civilization. They are crazy strong in feudal, like insanely strong. they don't have a slightest problem if they have to stay in feud a little bit longer and someone tries to go to economy with knights. Let's say a player who rush Castle Age already has 3 knights. He tried to do any damage to you, it doesn't matter because you're already gonna have a few night hours since you wanted to feud all in someone. So after feud all in someone, you can survive an attack from a Castle Age player with both of the civilization. And if your Jeanne d'Arc gets to level 3 and you pick the archer Jeanne d'Arc, you can just go and hunt them down the enemy knights, which is again, that's crazy good, that's crazy strong. So yeah, French and Jeanne d'Arc at least 8 year in FFA Nomad in my eyes. Of course, you can like talk about, but you know, you can go Royal Institute with French and do some H3 pushes. Doesn't matter. Based on my experience, if someone has a lot of kills, they will get focused on and they will get checked out in the airport. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter if you have a lot of kills, people will focus you down and eventually people will kill you. So, because they don't have crazy late game economy, but listen to this, because they can put a discount on their units, like French with a keep on stable and archer range, or Jeanne d'Arc with every production building. She can put discount on those units. That makes them a really good civilization. Next one is gonna be Ayyubid. Ayyubid in my eyes is still a horrible civilization. Sorry, but the special unit costs gold. Ayyubid units are not special at all. They are just basic. Like they are like Abbasid units but worse, literally. Like nobody can convince me Ayyubid is a good civilization for FFA. Like most of my FFAs are lost. I don't know what to do with Ayyubid other than making the, if the battery units weren't inside the Ayyubid landmark, the market thing, then I think would be a little bit better. But the fact that every special unit you have costs gold, and most of the time map doesn't have gold, really makes the Ayyubid worse. Like you can say that, like, well, on Outback Octagon there was one Ayyubid victory, you know, how does it make it the worst civilization? Yeah, you can be lucky, you can be insanely lucky and spawn where people are not spawning and make a crazy amount of units, but that's based on every civilization. If you are being untouched and you can kill 2 player, right, of course you're gonna win with the civilization even if it's a worse civilization. It doesn't matter. What matters is, like, how can you survive? Like, let's say there are 2 players next to you and both of you gonna punch you, you know what I mean? Of course, there is a really small chance you can survive, or not at all. Not at all. So I really don't like to play with Ayyubid in FFA because I think they are insanely weak, unless if I have a really lucky spawn. If I have a really lucky spawn, then definitely I will win Ayyubid. But that's the same with every other civilization. Next one is gonna be HRE and OOTD. They are in the same shoe as Jeanne d'Arc and French. Now I've been in a multiple games where both HRE and OOTD, I couldn't find relics. Maybe I found 1 relic or 2 relic, because there was another 4 HRE or 4 OOTD or 3 Zushi in the game, and I found like 1 or 2 relic and that's it. That gold economy is literally the same as Jeanne d'Arc or French, right? There's no difference between that. So I'm not really happy if I get OOTD. And also just don't think about this stupid S-buck on the sector side when there is 1 sector side. Nobody cares about that. Okay, so we are calculating these civilizations based on the performance, and the performance for FFA for both OOTD and HRE is not as good as people thinking. Like they're gonna be like, oh no, OOTD has 50 extra population, now we are going to die. I have won against OOTD and HRE that had 50 more population than me. Even if it was like a Conqueror 3 player, it doesn't matter. Like 50 extra population will not make OOTD broken. People are so scared of it because they are doing the fights like literally ass in a minute of ass. Sorry, but I've seen so many OOTD fights, and the people who are fighting against OOTD, they are not microing at all. They don't know what they are doing, so of course they're gonna lose the army. But in my eyes, still OOTD and HRE are not S tier civilization for FFA Nomad, and yeah, you can clutch out some really nice S-block on one sacrifice, etc. But I would be not the happiest person if I get in a tournament. If I get a civilization tournament and I get this 3, I would be the most happiest person. So, because we need to put more civilization into S tier, it's time to talk about the Abbasid. Well, you can ask me, but Corvus, Abbasid doesn't have any gold generation at all in Imperial. That's true. But next to Abbasid, Malian and Abbasid has the best trash units, okay? Both civilizations are insane when it comes to Imperial and spamming the trash tier units. Like, insane. Like, I don't know why nobody talk about it, but if we put Malian and Abbasid and they can make only wood and food type of units, right? Sometimes mixing a little bit of gold type of unit because they are not that expensive like Musafari Warrior or the Gulams. They are destroying. Both civilization economy is crazy good. Like the Carbon with the extra 1,000 food per minute, right? Or over 1,000, I think 1,100 in Imperial. Or the extra torch damage that you can buy with 350 or 300, 400, something like that. Gold, you can buy it. The Abbasid with their trash insanely strong spearmen, with their trash camel archer, with their trash archer, with their like Pepelev horseman and Gigachad Gulams, right? So everything together, and also you give 2 armor to your units when you make a wood based unit, aka camels, because the camel gives 2 ranged armor and 2 melee armor to spearmen, to archer, to gulams, to every kind of infantry unit. And plus on that, Abbasid has crazy gathering. The food gathering, the wood gathering, everything gathering is crazy with the Abbasid. But of course, you know, okay, let's put together, like, yeah, Rus is the best civ in my eyes, and after that Japanese, yes, and English, yes, Abbasid and Malian, yeah. Yeah, this is good. The only bad thing about Abbasid, that going Wonder is, it's really hard unless you are really lucky and you can get around the whole map. But other than that, it's not that easy, and not that easy to protect it as well, since you have only 2 landmarks. You know how many people I've seen that played Abbasid and they went Wonder and they just lost because the 2 landmark was on the front. Like, it doesn't matter if you build a Wonder in the back if you have 2 landmark on the front. Malian archers, I mean, okay, a little bit of spoiler. Malians is gonna be really good, really nice, both Japanese. So I'm a little bit influenced as well by the patch that will come, right? Because I know what's inside the patch, and yeah, that's a little bit pushing me as well to put them into their tier. So let's see what other civilization is really good for FFA. Now, Mongols got higher up from really low, at least into B tier. And I'm playing more and more Mongols, and I feel like they are not as horrible as we are thinking about it. Even though they don't have walls, they are still better than Ayyubid, because they have infinite gold gathering by destroying buildings. You get insane amount of gold, insane amount of stone, and you don't need always a good spawn. You can spawn next to a player. You can research the full bounty thing that you get 75 food and 75 gold, and just destroy their farms and etc. one by one. You don't need crazy spawn with Mongols, and you are happy if you spawn next to someone and you can do a lot of damage to them, because that will just feed you to get into Imperial, and also to feed you to get a hell lot of resources out. And also, I forgot to tell you, Mongol is the only civilization here in the first 10 minutes to have the most villagers if you put TC on Uvu. If you're TC on an Uvu, then you will have the most villagers in the first 10 minutes without a second TC. That makes them really good. And that's what people are not talking about. Yes, they don't have walls. They don't have walls at all, but they are making towers everywhere and upgrading those towers everywhere, right? I have survived so many attempts of snipe, right? When someone tried to go to my base and tried to snipe me, I have survived so many of those. And I have zero problem, okay? So, Mongols in my eyes, in FFA NOMAD, are not bad. Yeah, not bad. Next one. That's gonna be another S tier. It's gonna be China. It's in front of Abbasid and Malian, next to English. And Zushi, that's in front of China. Now, both civilization has better gold economy than these four civilization, but their gold economy is not better than these three civilization, right? Like, they can gather up a crazy, like I think the highest gold per minute I had with IOs was like 900 gold per minute with only IOs. Okay, listen to me, with only IOs, with the perfectly planned farms with a tax drop of building close by. I perfectly had 900 gold per minute, which is crazy. What you can do as well for Zushi, you can get her 160 gold, right? 160 or 120, something like that. With the extra gold gathering. Oh wait, I think that's 120 gold. So you can get her up a lot of gold if you go with that Imperial Landmark. I mean, you will, because you need the Ming Dynasty. With China, Yuan Dynasty is the number one. With Zushi, Ming Dynasty is the number one. So with China, you want to stay in Yuan Dynasty the whole game. You want to unlock every dynasty, just like with Zushi. But with China, you want to stay in Yuan Dynasty. So after unlocking Ming, you want to go back to Yuan. With Zushi, after unlocking Yuan, you want to go to Ming. So again, the civilization of China, this is a Yuan, right? Which is funny. And this is a Ming. So with Zushi, you want to stay Ming forever. With China, you want to stay with Yuan forever. Okay, so that's kind of funny. Okay, let's see what happened here. Okay, the last three civilization. I think Ottoman as good as Mongols. They are insanely slow, like crazy. I have lost so many games with Ottoman. Again, Ottomans or any other civilization is instantly strong if nobody touches them. But if you get touched in the first 8 minutes into the game, you're not gonna get horny, okay? You're gonna feel like so confused, like a 10 years old little boy, you know what I mean? You got confused as well when the teacher touched you, right? Okay, I'm not talking about my background or anything like that. So Ottoman is just as bad as Ayyubid, I think, but I would think it to put Ottoman C. Of course, if Ottoman is untouched, then it's an S tier civilization because the bombard. But other than that, I think they can shake hands with the Mongols. Ottoman has gold generation with the traders, but for that you need to send 10 traders into the landmark that can't do anything, and you take away 10 population. And they just don't do anything. Delhi. Even though Delhi doesn't have... Now, this is really good question. Okay, listen. I know what will happen in the next patch, and I know that the elephant's gonna be KW, okay? So, Delhi, in my eyes, not a bad civilization. The reason I'm putting into A tier, because they don't have gold generation. Every upgrades are free. Every upgrades are nice, but Delhi will not be as insanely OP as it was before, and thanks God the devs are doing something with that. So they are introducing some stuff. against the Delhi, but you guys will see it eventually. And like what Delhi has, 3 upgrades elephants, right? 3 upgrades elephants, scholar. Here you go. But other than that, I think Delhi is just like the same level as the other civilization in A tier. Now Byzantine, I was taking into either C or B. Honestly, I feel like Byzantine is insanely weak. I'm not even joking. Even with the olive oil generation they have. They have really strong towers, Mongolian towers. So the reason why I'm putting them into B, at least, because the strong Mongolian towers that can help them to protect the base or protect anything, or maybe survive an all-in Castle-ish. But I feel like Byzantine is horrible. Like I've been playing with every civilization, and you guys know that I'm playing with every civilization. And I played, let me check again. I played how many is this? 1,100 FFA games so far. So I played 1,100 games, and I feel like Byzantine is not as strong. It's not bad, but it's just as good as the Mongols. Like literally, based on it, it's just as good as the Mongols. Yeah, this is perfect. This is correct. Okay. So after 1,100 games of FFA, I can tell you that this is how I see the FFA Nomad Steve strengths, or how good they're gonna be, even in the next patch that will come out whenever, when they gonna tell us when it will come out, right? So I hope you enjoyed it, and use this civilization on FFA Nomad whenever you can. Good luck. What I wanted to say. Oh, good luck and fun.